5 years ago, I discovered the sport of roller derby, and it really changed my life forever. When most people think of roller derby, they immediately think back to the televised roller derby TV shows that were made for entertainment, like the fabricated wrestling matches that you see today. According to the Roller Derby Hall of Fame, it was first televised in New York in 1946, and it quickly became one of America's favorite forms of entertainment. Well, let me tell you, it's come a really long way. Today's roller derby is not only recognized as a contact sport internationally, but also it has been overseen by the Women's Flat Track Derby Association, or WIFTA, which we like to call it, and they were established in 2004. They basically monitor each team to ensure that they're following precise rules and regulations of the sport. According to WIFTA, roller derby has been around since the 1920s, and it was a term that was used to describe any type of roller skating race. It wasn't until about 10 years later that roller derby became the rough and tumble sport that we know and that we love today. Now, don't get me wrong, there's still a certain amount of entertainment in the sport, from the racy uniforms to the unique derby names that each skater will choose for him or herself. It is action-packed at all times, and it really is one of the very few sports that can hold your attention from the first whistle blow to the final sounding of the air horn. So what exactly is roller derby? Roller derby is a sport that consists of two teams of 5 skaters. The 2 teams will skate on a laid-out track that is taped off, typically on an inner circle of a skating rink, and they move in a counterclockwise direction. The actual match itself is called a bout. A bout lasts for 2 30-minute periods, and it consists of many small matches called jams. Each jam will last 2 minutes. The point of roller derby is for one team to outscore the other by lapping them the most times within the bout. To score, the jammer, or lead skater on each team, needs to try to pass through the pack and score a point by skating quickly through the pack and beating the opposing team's jammer. Once this is done, then she is considered to be the lead jammer and is able to score for her team on the next pass through. The jammer is easily recognizable by a star that's on the helmet of her cover, the cover of her helmet that she must wear during the jam. The pack is the group of skaters that are trying to protect their jammer. The other skaters on the team are considered to be blockers, since their main function is to block the opposing team's skaters that are trying to make room for their jammer to pass through quickly and easily, and they're still trying to deter the other team's jammer at that same time. There's also another special skater called a pivot that can actually act as a jammer. Now, this is only if by chance the jammer is injured during a jam or evicted with a penalty during that jam and sent to the penalty box. The pivot is distinguished by a stripe cover on her helmet. Each time the jammer passes through the pack successfully after the initial pass through without being knocked down or blocked, she scores 1 point for her team. The team with the highest number of passes through obviously is the winner. Now, roller derby is a contact sport, like I said, so it can get a little rough at times. It is one of the few sports that offense and defense will play at the same time. The jammer is going to be the target for the opposing pack always. What they do is they seek to take her out by any legal way possible. There are a lot of forms of blocking, leaning into another skater, and cutting in front of them, basically to deter the jammer from getting through the pack. If the jammer goes out of bounds or if they go off the designated track, then penalties are called. Penalties that face time in the penalty box are those that consist of illegal blocking, pushing, tripping, the list goes on. There are also many tactics that are used to try to help a jammer to score points, like the famous whip. This is when a teammate holds onto the arm of her jammer and helps her through to gain speed and momentum through the pack. They basically pull her through and sling her from behind themselves to another point of the track in front of them. The whip can double a jammer's speed in an instant, and it can either be a determining factor in getting her in a great position or one that can end in pain for the jammer, which I am all too familiar with. Roller derby can be played by a team of men or a team of women. But the dichotomy today has become really a female-dominated sport. The most popular form of derby is skated on a flat track. However, the Roller Derby Foundation states that the originator of roller derby, Leo Seltzer, he initially had the skaters duking it out on a banked track. An example of this type of track can be seen in the 2009 movie Whip It, which brought the sport back into the limelight, and it really did motivate me to become a roller girl. Even since my time playing 5 years ago, the roller derby world has grown tenfold. New teams are being inducted monthly into the WIFTA League. They basically have to complete many, many years of apprenticeship. Women and men alike are putting countless hours into training and practicing just in hopes to make sure or to see that they get into a nationally recognized team like New York's Gotham Girls. Although at one time it was laughable if you called yourself a roller girl, today it's considered an honor and a privilege to be able to wear a jersey donning your uniquely registered derby alias. Roller girls are strong, powerful women. They come from all walks of life, and it really requires hard work, dedication, sweat, tears, and a ton of bruises. Not just anyone can make the team, but if you do, it is life-changing, and it's an experience that you will hold close to you even once you hang up your skates.